4 days. That's all I had left. 4 days to convince the woman whose life I destroyed to save mine. 4 days to prove that a monster can become human again. Welcome to part 3, the final chapter of The Second Wife's Secret. If you haven't watched parts 1 and 2, stop right now. Go back and watch them. This is where everything comes together. This is where all the choices are made. This is the end. In part 1, we saw Chidi destroy his wife Amara and marry the beautiful Zara. But Zara was a mommy wada, a water spirit sent for justice. In part 2, Zara revealed her true form. She destroyed Chidi's life the way he destroyed Amara's. His secrets went viral. His business collapsed. His daughters learned the truth. And she gave him 7 days to find Amara and make real amends, or die. We left off with Chidi sitting across from Amara in a cemetery. The woman he destroyed now holds his fate in her hands. He has 4 days left. Will she forgive him? Will she let him die? Or is there a third option that no one saw coming? Let's find out. The evening light was fading in the cemetery. Soon it would be dark. Chidi sat on the fallen log, waiting. Amara sat on the opposite end, far enough that they couldn't touch. Far enough that the distance between them felt like an ocean. "You want me to save your life," Amara finally said. Her voice was quiet. Flat. "That's why you're here." "Yes," Chidi admitted. There was no point in lying anymore. "And you think saying, 'I'm sorry,' will be enough?" "No," Chidi said. "I know it's not enough. Nothing will ever be enough. But Zara said I have to make real amends. She said I have to give you back everything I took." "Everything," Amara repeated. She looked at him with those empty eyes. "Do you even understand what everything means?" I'll give you the house back. The money. I'll tell everyone the truth. Stop." Amara held up her hand. "You still don't get it. You think this is about property. About money. About your reputation." She stood up and walked closer to him. Not close enough to touch, but close enough that he could see the pain in her eyes. The pain that had been there so long it had turned into something else. Something harder. "You took my dignity, Chidi. You took my peace. You took my children's love. You took my ability to trust anyone. You took years of my life that I will never get back. You took my grandmother's last months on earth. She died thinking her granddaughter was a failure and a disgrace." Her voice cracked on the last word, but she didn't cry. She had no tears left. "So tell me," she continued, "how do you give that back? How do you undo the nights I spent wanting to die? How do you fix the fact that my own daughters looked at me like I was a stranger? How do you repair a heart that you broke so completely that even now, standing here, I don't feel anything when I look at you? No anger, no hate, nothing. You killed something inside me. So, how do you bring that back to life?" Chidi had no answer. He opened his mouth, but no words came out. "That's what I thought," Amara said. She turned to walk away. "Wait." Chidi stood up. "Please. Just tell me what to do. Whatever it is, I'll do it. I'll spend the rest of my life doing it. Just tell me." Amara stopped. She didn't turn around. "The rest of your life?" she said. "You have 4 days, Chidi. 4 days before Zara comes back. That's not a lifetime. That's barely a breath. Then tell me what I can do in 4 days." Amara was quiet for a long moment. The sun was almost gone now. The cemetery was turning gray and purple with twilight. In the distance, Chidi could hear the river flowing, a constant reminder of what waited for him if he failed. "There are 3 things," Amara finally said. She turned around to face him. "3 things you must do if you want me to ask Zara to spare you." "Anything," Chidi said desperately. "First," Amara held up one finger. "You must go to your daughters. Not with lies. Not with excuses. With the complete truth. You must tell them everything you did. Every manipulation. Every lie. Every cruel thing you said about me. And you must ask for their forgiveness. Not mine, theirs. They're the ones you used as weapons. They deserve the truth." Chidi nodded. "Okay. I can do that. What's the second thing?" "Second," another finger. You must stand in public, in front of everyone who watched you humiliate me, and tell the truth, the real truth, that I did nothing wrong, that you destroyed me for your own selfish reasons. You must face the same humiliation you made me face. You must let them see you at your lowest, the way they saw me at mine. Chitty's stomach turned. The thought of standing in front of hundreds of people, admitting what he'd done, but he nodded. Okay. And the third thing. Amara looked at him with those empty eyes.
Third, she said.
You must let me go. What do you mean? I mean you must genuinely release me from your life. No more trying to control the narrative. No more telling people your version of events. No more checking on me or asking about me or inserting yourself into my healing. You must disappear from my world completely and let me rebuild without your shadow hanging over me. She stepped closer. You must accept that I will never forgive you, that I will never trust you, that even if Zara spares your life, you and I will never have any relationship again. Not as friends, not as co-parents, nothing. You must truly let me go and mean it. But the girls, Chitty said weakly. How do we? The girls are not we, Amara interrupted. The girls are people you harmed who will make their own choices about you. If they choose to have you in their lives after they know the truth, that's their decision. But you don't get to use them as an excuse to stay connected to me. Is that clear? It was the hardest thing she'd asked. Harder than the public humiliation. Harder than confessing to his daughters. Because it meant accepting that he had truly lost her forever. Is it clear? Amara repeated. Yes, Chitty whispered. It's clear. You have until sunset in 3 days, Amara said. 3 days to complete all 3 tasks. If you do them, truly do them, not just go through the motions, then I'll speak to Zara on your behalf. I'll ask her to spare you. Will she listen to you? I don't know, Amara said honestly. She's a spirit of justice, not a spirit of mercy. But she came because I called her. She might listen to me if I ask her to stop. Might. That's not a guarantee. No, Amara agreed. It's not. But it's the only chance you have. Take it or leave it. Chitty looked at this woman he had once promised to love forever. This woman he had destroyed. And he realized that she was giving him more mercy than he deserved. I'll do it, he said. All 3 things. I swear.
Don't swear to me, Amara said.
Swear to yourself. Swear to your daughters. Swear to whatever God you believe in. Because if you fail, or if you lie, or if you try to manipulate your way out of this, then on that 4th day, Zara will come for you. And nothing in this world will save you from the water. She walked past him, heading toward the cemetery entrance. Where are you going? Chitty called after her. Home, she said without looking back. I have a life to continue living. Whether you live or die doesn't change that anymore. Goodbye, Chitty. And she was gone, disappearing into the twilight, leaving him alone among the graves with 3 impossible tasks and 3 days to complete them. Chitty drove back to Lagos through the night. He didn't stop. Didn't sleep. He couldn't. Every hour that passed was an hour closer to his deadline. By morning, he was back in the city. His house, the one he would soon have to give back to Amara, felt like a stranger's home now. Everything in it reminded him of his sins. Zara was gone. She had vanished the night she gave him the ultimatum. The house was empty. Just him and his guilt. He called his mother. Mama, I need you to bring the girls to the house, he said. Chitty, I don't think that's a good idea. After everything that's been happening. Please, Mama. I need to talk to them. It's important. His mother was quiet for a moment. Then, are you finally going to tell them the truth? So she knew. She had known all along what kind of man her son really was. Yes, Chitty said. I'm going to tell them everything. It's about time, his mother said. I'll bring them this afternoon. The hours until they arrived were the longest of Chitty's life. He paced the house. He rehearsed what he would say. He vomited twice from nervousness. This was harder than facing Zara. Harder than anything. Because these were his daughters. And he was about to break their hearts. At 3 p.m., his mother's car pulled up. Chioma and Adiz got out. They looked different. Older somehow, even though it had only been a few days since he'd seen them. They walked into the house slowly, like they weren't sure they wanted to be there. "Hi, Daddy," Chioma said. She was 6 years old, but her eyes looked ancient. "Hi, baby girl," Chitty said. His voice cracked. "Thank you for coming. Both of you." Adiz, who was 4, held her older sister's hand. She didn't say anything. "Girls, sit down," Chitty said, gesturing to the couch. "Daddy needs to talk to you about something very important." They sat. His mother stood by the door, arms crossed, watching him with hard eyes. Chitty knelt down in front of his daughters, so he was at their eye level. And then he began. "Do you remember when Amara stopped living here?" he asked. Chioma nodded. Adiz looked down at her feet. "I told you that she left because she didn't love us anymore. That she was a bad person. That she chose to go away. Do you remember?" "Yes," Chioma said quietly. "I lied to you," Chitty said. The words felt like stones in his mouth. "Everything I told you about your mother was a lie." Chioma's eyes went wide. "What do you mean?" "I mean your mother didn't leave. I made her leave. She didn't stop loving you. She never stopped loving you, not even for 1 second. She wasn't bad. I was. I am." Tears were already forming in his eyes, but he pushed on. "Your mother is a good person. She was a good wife. She was a good mother. But I wanted a different wife. I wanted someone younger. I wanted a son instead of daughters. And so I decided to get rid of her." But why?" Chioma's voice was small and confused. "Because I was selfish," Chitty said. "Because I cared more about what I wanted than about your mother's feelings. Or your feelings. Or anyone's feelings except my own." He told them everything. How he had planned the divorce for months. How he had humiliated Amara at the party on purpose. How he had taken everything from her, the house, the money, her dignity. How he had deliberately turned them against their mother with lies and manipulation. "Every time I said something bad about your mother, I was lying," he said. "Every time I told you she didn't love you, I was lying. Every time I said she was the reason our family broke apart, I was lying. It was me. It was all me." Chioma started crying. Big, silent tears rolling down her face. "But you said she was bad," she sobbed. "You said she didn't want us anymore." "I know, baby. And I'm so sorry. I lied to you. I used you as weapons against your mother. I made you hate someone who only ever loved you. And that was one of the most evil things I've ever done." "Why?" Adiz spoke for the first time. Her little voice was barely a whisper. "Why did you do that?" "Because I'm broken inside," Chitty said. "Because something in me is wrong and selfish and cruel. And I let that broken part hurt everyone around me." "Does Mommy hate us now?" Chioma asked. "Because we were mean to her?" "No," Chitty said firmly. "No, baby. Your mother could never hate you. She knows it wasn't your fault. She knows I lied to you. She loves you more than anything in the world." "Can we see her?" Adiz asked. "Can we tell her we're sorry?" "Yes," Chitty said. "You can see her. You can tell her anything you want. She's been waiting to hear from you. She never stopped waiting." He pulled out his phone and showed them pictures of Amara. Recent pictures. Pictures from her simple life in Delta State. Pictures of her smiling at her grandmother's grave. Pictures of her teaching children in the village. "This is your mother now," he said. "She's rebuilding her life. She's happy sometimes. She's finding peace. And she would love to see you." "But," he paused. "This was the hardest part. But I need you to understand something. What I did to your mother. I can't fix it. I can't undo it. And she may never want to see me again. And that's okay. That's what I deserve. But you're her daughters. You're innocent. She wants you in her life, even if I can't be in it." "Will we have 2 families now?" Chioma asked. "One with you, and one with Mommy?" "Maybe," Chitty said. "If you want that. If she wants that. But you need to know the truth first. You need to decide for yourselves who you want in your life. And I'll respect whatever you decide." He looked into his daughter's confused, crying faces. "I'm asking for your forgiveness," he said. Not because I deserve it, but because you deserve to hear me ask. I'm sorry I lied to you. I'm sorry I used you. I'm sorry I broke our family. I'm sorry I made you hate your mother. I'm sorry for all of it. Chioma looked at her sister. Then she looked at their grandmother, who was still standing by the door. The old woman nodded slightly. I don't know if I forgive you yet, Chioma said slowly. I'm too confused. And too angry. But I'm glad you told us the truth. That's fair, Chitty said. You don't have to forgive me right now. Or ever. Just please don't hate your mother for what I did. We don't hate her, Adiz said. We miss her. Then you should go to her, Chitty said. Grandma can take you. Your mother is in Delta State. She would be so happy to see you. His mother stepped forward. Come, girls. Let's let your father sit with what he's done. You and I have a trip to take. The girls stood up. Chioma looked back at her father. Are you going to be okay, Daddy? She asked. It was such a simple question. Such an innocent question. And it broke what was left of Chitty's heart. I don't know, baby, he said honestly.
But don't worry about me.
You just go be with your mother. She needs you more than I do. They left. The house was silent again. Chitty sat on the floor and cried until he had no tears left. 1 task down. 2 to go. The next morning, Chitty made a decision. If he was going to confess publicly, he would do it at the place where it all began. The place where he had humiliated Amara in front of 200 people. His mother's church. He called the pastor. I need to speak at tomorrow's Sunday service, Chitty said. Chitty, I don't think that's appropriate, the pastor said carefully. Given everything that's been happening, I need to confess, Chitty said. Publicly. I need to tell everyone the truth about what I did to Amara. Please. It's the only way to make things right. The pastor was quiet for a long moment. This isn't about redemption, is it? This is about something else. Does it matter? Chitty asked. I suppose not, the pastor said. Be here at 10 a.m. I'll give you 5 minutes before the sermon. Sunday morning arrived too quickly. Chitty put on a simple shirt and trousers. No expensive suit. No designer watch. He needed to look like what he was, a broken man seeking redemption. When he arrived at the church, it was already filling up. Over 300 people. Some of them had been at his mother's party. Most of them had seen the viral videos. All of them knew who he was and what he'd done. The whisper started as soon as he walked in. That's him. The one who went viral. I heard he's going to jail. Serves him right. Chitty sat in the front row. His mother was there. She squeezed his hand once. No words. Just that one gesture. It was enough. The service began. Songs were sung.
Prayers were said.
And then the pastor stood up. Before we begin today's sermon, he said, Brother Chitty has asked to speak to the congregation. He has something he needs to say. Please give him your attention. Chitty stood up. His legs felt like water. He walked to the front of the church. Stood behind the same microphone where he had destroyed Amara's life months ago. He looked out at the faces. Some curious. Some hostile. Some just waiting to see what would happen.
Good morning, he said.
His voice shook. Thank you for letting me speak. I know many of you don't want to hear from me. I understand. But I need to say this. He took a deep breath. Months ago, at my mother's birthday party, I stood up and announced that I was divorcing my wife, Amara. I said terrible things about her. I humiliated her in front of everyone. Many of you were there. Some of you shared the video. Some of you laughed at her pain. The church was completely silent now. I want to tell you all something, Chitty continued. Everything I said that night was a lie. Gasps rippled through the congregation. Amara did nothing wrong. She was a faithful wife, a loving mother, a good woman. But I wanted someone younger. I wanted a son. I was selfish and cruel. So I decided to destroy her. His voice was getting stronger now. The words were pouring out. I planned it. I went to lawyers. I set up my finances so she would have nothing. And then I humiliated her publicly so that everyone would think she deserved it. I turned our daughters against her. I made her into a joke. I destroyed her life because I wanted a new one. Some people in the church were nodding. Others looked shocked. One woman was crying. And I need you all to know, Chitty said, that Amara did not deserve any of it. She deserved respect. She deserved love. She deserved protection. And instead, I gave her pain. I gave her shame. I gave her nothing. He paused. His hands were shaking. I'm not here to ask for your forgiveness, he said. I'm here to tell you the truth. Amara is innocent. She always was. And if you shared that video, if you laughed at her, if you judged her, I'm asking you to stop. Because she did nothing wrong. I did. The Bible talks about justice, he continued. About reaping what you sow, about consequences. Well, I'm reaping now. My business is gone. My reputation is destroyed. My daughters know the truth. Everything I built through lies and cruelty is falling apart. And it should. This is what justice looks like. He looked directly at his mother. I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry I became this person. I'm sorry I brought shame to our family. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you when you warned me. Then he looked back at the congregation. And to everyone here, if you know Amara, if you see her, tell her something for me. Tell her that I finally told the truth. Tell her that I took the same humiliation I gave her. Tell her I'm sorry. He stepped back from the microphone. The church was silent. Then, slowly, one person started clapping. Then another. Then another. It wasn't applause for him. It was acknowledgement. Recognition that truth had finally been spoken. Chitty walked back to his seat. His whole body was trembling. But he had done it. 2 tasks complete. 1 more to go. The hardest task was the last one. Letting go. Chitty spent the rest of Sunday afternoon writing. He wrote a legal document transferring the house back to Amara. He wrote a letter to his lawyer arranging for financial compensation. He wrote instructions for his accountant to set up a trust fund for his daughters that Amara would control. But that was just paperwork. The real letting go was harder. He opened his phone and started deleting every photo of Amara that he still had saved. Every text message. Every email. Every video. Every memory. It felt like erasing a part of his life. And in a way, that's exactly what it was. He called Amara's sister. I've transferred the house back to Amara, he said. All the paperwork will be ready tomorrow. Can you make sure she gets it? Is this some kind of trick? The sister asked suspiciously.
No trick.
No conditions. It's hers. It always should have been hers. What about the girls? They can visit her whenever they want. I'll never stand in the way of that. I'll never try to control it or use it against her. They're her daughters. She deserves to be their mother. And what about you? The sister asked. What do you get out of all this?
Nothing, Chitty said.
Absolutely nothing. And that's exactly what I deserve. He hung up. Next, he called his business partners, the ones who hadn't sued him yet, and formally withdrew from all companies.
No negotiations.
No trying to salvage anything. Just walking away. He called his friends and told them to delete his number. He closed his social media accounts. He made himself disappear from the online world where his cruelty had gone viral. And then, the hardest part of all, he sat down and wrote a letter to Amara. The final letter. The goodbye. Dear Amara, I've done what you asked. I told the girls the truth. I confessed publicly. I've transferred everything back to you. But the third thing, truly letting you go, is the hardest, Because even after everything, a selfish part of me wants you to forgive me. Wants you to tell me I'm not a monster. Wants you to say that I can be redeemed. But I'm learning that real change means letting go of what I want. It means accepting that some things can never be fixed. Some hearts can never be unbroken. So I'm letting you go.
Completely.
I won't contact you again after this. I won't ask about you. I won't try to insert myself into your life.
You are free of me.
I hope you find peace. I hope you find joy. I hope you find everything I stole from you, and more. You deserve that and so much more, I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm just saying goodbye, Chitty. He sealed the letter and gave it to his mother to deliver. Are you really doing this? His mother asked. Really letting her go?
I have to, Chitty said.
It's the only thing I can still give her. That night, Chitty sat in the empty house and waited. Tomorrow was the 4th day. Tomorrow, Zara would come for her answer. Tomorrow, he would learn if his efforts had been enough. But even if they hadn't been enough, even if Zara took him to the water anyway, at least he would die knowing he had finally done the right thing. Even if it was too late. Chitty didn't sleep that night. He couldn't. Every sound made him think Zara was coming. Every shadow looked like her form. But she didn't come in the night. The sun rose on the 4th day. His final day. At noon, his phone rang. It was Amara's sister. She got the letter, the sister said. She read it. And she's on her way to you. Amara is coming here?
No.
She's going to the river. The river where it all began. She said to meet her there at sunset. If you want to know your fate, be there. The line went dead. The 3rd mainland bridge. The place where Amara had almost ended her life. The place where Zara first appeared. It made sense that it would end there too. Chitty drove to the bridge. He arrived early. The sun was still high in the sky. He stood at the railing, looking down at the water. The same water that had almost claimed Amara's life. The same water that might claim his. Hours passed. The sun moved across the sky. Orange, then pink, then purple. The water turned golden with sunset light. And then he saw them. 2 figures walking toward him. Amara. And beside her, glowing faintly even in the daylight,
Zara.
Chitty's heart stopped. This was it. This was the moment. They stopped a few feet away from him. Amara looked different. Not happy exactly, but lighter somehow. Like she had put down a heavy weight. Zara looked the same as she had in the garden. Beautiful and terrible. Human and not human. Her eyes were dark, but not completely black anymore. There was something almost gentle in them. You completed the 3 tasks, Amara said. It wasn't a question. Yes, Chitty said. The girls called me, Amara continued. They told me what you said. How you told them the truth. How you asked for their forgiveness. I did. The pastor called me too, Amara said. He told me about your confession. About how you stood in front of the whole church and admitted everything. I did that too. And I received the paperwork. The house. The money. The trust fund. All of it. It's yours. It always should have been yours. Amara nodded slowly. Then she turned to Zara. He did what I asked, Amara said to the spirit. He completed all 3 tasks. Zara's dark eyes studied Chitty. It felt like she was looking into his soul, seeing every thought, every feeling, every truth and lie. Did you do it because you wanted to live? Zara asked. Her voice was like water and wind. Or, did you do it because it was right? Chitty thought about lying, about saying he did it because it was right. But standing here, facing a spirit of justice, in his final moments, he chose truth. Both, he said. I did it because I wanted to live, but also because I finally understood. I felt what Amara felt. And I couldn't let that go without trying to fix it. Even if fixing it was impossible. Impossible, Zara repeated.
Yes.
You cannot fix what you broke. You cannot give back what you took. You cannot undo the pain you caused. I know, Chitty said. So why try? Zara asked. Because she deserved to hear the truth. My daughters deserved to hear the truth. Everyone deserved to know that Amara was innocent, even if it cost me everything, even if it cost me my life. Zara looked at Amara. What do you want? Amara was quiet for a long time. She looked at Chitty, really looked at him, saw the broken man he had become, the monster learning to be human. I want, Amara started, then stopped. She closed her eyes. I want him to live. Chitty's breath caught. Not because he's earned it, Amara continued. Not because I forgive him. I don't. I may never forgive him. But I want him to live so he can keep being the man he started becoming these last 4 days. I want him to live so my daughters can have a father who tells the truth. I want him to live so that justice doesn't become revenge. She opened her eyes and looked at Zara. You came because I called for justice, Amara said. Well, I'm calling again. And I'm asking for mercy. Not for his sake. For mine. Because I'm tired of carrying hate. I'm tired of wanting him to suffer. I want to be free of him. Truly free. And I can't be free while he's drowning in the river. So let him live. Zara turned back to Chitty. You heard her. She's giving you your life. What will you do with it? Chitty's voice broke. I'll spend every day trying to be better. Not for forgiveness. Not for redemption. Just better. For my daughters. For the people I haven't hurt yet. For myself.
Good, Zara said.
Because Amara is showing you more mercy than you showed her. Don't waste it. She raised her hand. For a moment, Chitty thought she was going to pull him into the water anyway. But instead, she touched his forehead gently. You will live, Zara said. But you will remember. Every day, you will remember what you did. Every day, you will carry the weight of your choices. That is your punishment. And your gift. To remember, so that you never become that person again. And then she stepped back, her form beginning to shimmer. Wait, Chitty said. Will I see you again? Zara smiled. Only if you need to. Only if you forget the lessons you learned. I am always in the water, Chitty. Always watching. Always waiting. Be good, or I'll come back. She dissolved into mist, flowing down toward the water below. And then she was gone. Just Chitty and Amara standing on the bridge in the fading sunset. Thank you, Chitty said to Amara. Thank you for saving me. I didn't save you, Amara said. I released you. There's a difference. You saved yourself by finally telling the truth. She turned to walk away. Amara, Chitty called. Will I ever see you again? She stopped but didn't turn around. Through the girls, she said. Only through the girls. When they want to see you, I'll bring them. But you and we're done. This is goodbye. Goodbye, Chitty whispered. Amara walked away, disappearing into the evening crowd. And Chitty stood alone on the bridge, alive, broken, and finally free of the lies that had built his life. 6 months later, Chitty lived in a small apartment in a quiet part of Lagos. He worked as a teacher now. The pay was terrible compared to what he used to make. But it was honest work. Good work. His daughters visited, once a month. Amara brought them. She never stayed long. Never spoke to him more than necessary. But she brought them. And that was more than he deserved. Chioma and Adiz were different now. More careful with him. But also more honest. They asked hard questions. They told him when they were angry. They didn't pretend everything was okay. It was better than before. Harder, but better. Amara had moved back to Lagos. She opened a small school in the neighborhood where she used to live, teaching children who couldn't afford regular school fees. She was happy. Really happy. Chitty could see it in her face when she dropped off the girls. He never tried to talk to her beyond what was necessary. He kept his promise. He let her go. Sometimes, late at night, Chitty would dream of water, of dark eyes watching him, of a voice like rivers saying, I'm always watching. And he would wake up and remember what he had done, remember who he had been, remember the mercy he had been shown. And he would promise himself every single day to be better. Not for forgiveness. Not for redemption. Just better. Because some things can't be fixed. Some hearts can't be unbroken. Some sins can't be washed away. But you can choose, every day, not to add to the hurt in the world. You can choose to tell the truth. You can choose to let go. You can choose to be human instead of monster. And that choice, made every single day, is how broken men learn to live again. This is the end of The Second Wife's Secret. 3 parts. 1 story. A story about pride, betrayal, justice, and mercy. Chitty lived. Not because he earned it, but because Amara chose to let him live. That's what real strength looks like. Not revenge. Not hatred. But the choice to break the cycle of pain. The spirits are real. They watch. They wait. They remember. And they collect debts. But they also recognize when someone truly changes. If you destroyed someone, you can undo it, but you can tell the truth. You can face the consequences. You can let go of control. And maybe, if you're lucky, the person you hurt will choose mercy over revenge. But don't count on it. Most people aren't as strong as Amara. Thank you for watching this series. Thank you for the comments, the shares, the discussions. This story touched many of you.
Some of you saw yourselves in Chitty. Some in Amara. Some in Zara.
Whoever you are, remember this. The spirits are always watching. The ancestors never forget. And karma always collects. Be good. Be honest. Be better. And if you see a woman at a conference who knows too much about you, who seems too perfect, who makes you feel like fate has smiled on you, maybe ask yourself why. Because sometimes fate isn't smiling. Sometimes fate is collecting. See you in our next video.